Nicole, the Seattle Seahawks have informed Richard Sherman that he is going to be released later today.
Cliff Averill, 32 years old, recovering from a neck injury, has been released.
Defensive lineman Michael Bennett, they are sending him and a 7th-round draft pick to the Super Bowl champs, the Eagles.
Earl Thomas entering the final year of his deal, guys, and he says that if the Seahawks won't extend his contract, that they should trade him, like Bill just reported. So
the changing of the guard continues in Seattle.
G'day everyone, my name is Basin CC and welcome to the first ever episode of the Madden NFL 19 rebuild. Today we'll be playing as the Seattle Seahawks. This will be a 3 to 5 episode series, and in today's first episode we're going to be going through the 2018 season, and we'll be playing as the Seattle Seahawks through the eyes of Pete Carroll, the coach. And yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in a moment. Alrighty everyone, so looking at our team's roster for the 2018 season, we have got, as you probably will see, I'll zoom in, and zooming in, you've got Dwayne Brown as left tackle, Epoch as left guard, Justin Britt as center, D. Fluker as right guard, G.I. Fetty as right tackle. Tight end, we've got E. Dickinson. Wide receiver 1, we've got Doug Baldwin. We've Tyler Lockett as the backup. Running back, we've got a round 1 pick from the recent draft, Rashid Penny, with the backups being Chris Carson and Jordan McKissick. Our quarterback and our franchise quarterback is Russell Wilson. Our fullback is Trey Madden. And we have our recently traded wide receiver, B. Marshall, and with his backup being John Brown. Looking at our defense, we've got Earl Thomas as our free safety, KJ Wright as our right outside linebacker. Middle linebacker, we have got Bobby Wagner. Left outside backer, we've got B. Mingo, and on safety, we've got M. Alexander. On cornerback, we've got Shaquem Griffin. We've got Rashid Green as right end, J. Reed as D tackle, with N. Jones being a second, Frank Clark as our left end, and B. Maxwell as our cornerback. Looking at our special teams, we have M. Dixon as our punter, with S.J. Kowski as our kicker. Now we are going to be releasing John Ryan, because he just got released in real life. So we will take that infringement, but that is okay. On specialists, this is our specialist lineup. So we've got our third down running back being McKissick, Chris Carson being our power back, and slot cornerback being Justin Coleman. Left end is Frank Clark, Justin Reed's right D tackle, and all that. So as our rushers, slot receiver is Doug Baldwin, of course, with Tyler Lockett being his backup. Anyway, let's get into the preseason. Actually, before we get into preseason, let's fix our offense. So looking at our offense, we need to fix by making a trade. So what we're going to do is, where is Higby? Alright, so we're going to be offering a trade. So we're going to get rid of our left outside linebacker, B. Mingo, and we're going to pick up T. Higby from the Los Angeles Rams at tight end, just because of our age, with our age in E. Dickinson and our backup tight ends all being 71 overalls with a bit of age. So we're going to get that. We're going to get a nice trade offer was accepted, good value, and yes, we'll trade that one away. And so looking back at our team now, we've got Epoch, what we do is we move G Sweezy to play. We're going to move him to right tackle. Yep. Oh, no, that wasn't the button. So we moved G Sweezy to right tackle, and we have a better O line than what we did before. All in C's, but we want to get them all up to B's. Now we're going to move T Higby, and we're going to also move Tyler Bennett, and we're going to put E Dickerson on a trade block. With the wide receivers, what we're going to do is we have Doug Baldwin. We're going to hold on to B Marshall just because we just picked him up, and the same with E Dickerson. We'll take him off the trade block actually because it isn't realistic because we just picked him up. And yeah, so our Penny would be our starter running back. If we go into defense now, this is something we have to modify. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go order sort on offense. KJ Wright slots over to the left outside linebacker. And what we will do though is we will chuck Dion Jordan on the trade block because we're going to be starting Rashi Green. Alright, offense, let me just check that it's all okay. No, it's not what we wanted. Alrighty. So what I'll do is I'll catch you guys at the mid-season mark. Actually, I'll chuck you at the. Actually, meet you guys at the regular season mark, and I'll see you guys there. Let's have a look at our contracts that we have for this season. So, if some of you do not know, Earl Thomas was possibly going to be traded at the start of the year, and still could be possibly traded to the Dallas Cowboys. But that has been since not happened. Could possibly happen, but he is our major target for contracts. KJ Wright as well. Tyler Lockett we could bring back. He's definitely a great player. Has quick development, so we should bring him back. Frank Clark is another great left hand. We will not be bringing the kicker back, Janikowski, just because of his age. Brandon Marshall we're not bringing back because he is regressing. Dion Jordan, probably not because we've got Rashi Green. McKissick will bring back as our backup. Coleman, yes. Alexander, not necessarily. We're going to negotiate trade contracts with Earl Thomas, so we're going to just bump ours up to a 7.8, so 4.18, and the offer is perfect, so you can't wait until next year. So with KJ Wright, he wants 2.27, so we'll see what that happens when we just offer him the basic deal. But we need to fix the bonus and salary. Okay, so Tyler Lockett, 33.5. That's expensive for a wide receiver, and he takes it, thankfully. Frank Clark, let's offer him just a little bit more. We'll offer him the 31 mil, and he is going to accept. Great. So we won't pick up these two. Nope. But we will take McKissick. Just offer him the base deal. He'll stay. And if we move across to Coleman, we'll just offer him the base deal as well. And he's happy to sign. Okay, so we've got Morris Alexander. We'll sign him because he's our main safety at the moment. We'll just offer him a base contract. Yep, and he'll stay. So the only players we need to fix up with our trades is KJ Wright. So that's fine. I can do that at the end of the season. Alrighty, I will progress to the end of the season. So after finishing the season, we did not make the playoffs. Not surprising, actually, but if we look at our team, so we had an injury to Doug Baldwin throughout the season, so Brendan Marshall became an 80 overall because he couldn't play well. He struggled. As you can see, it says raise confidence by winning games, but that did not happen, and so Doug Baldwin became injured, and everybody sort of stepped up, moved up. So no real big upgrades. Higby should be still up there. Rashid Penny became a 77 overall, which is great. McKissick got injured, so that's okay. No real big upgrades there. If we look at our defense, though, Shaquem Griffin became 83. Shaquille became a 73. KJ became B-Wags became a 99, I think it is. Yeah, a 99 overall. Wow. KJ Wright became an 83. Frank Clark became an 82. J Ray became 81. But yeah, not really any too many massive movers. Dixon became a 77. But yeah, not the greatest season, I have to say. If we look at the record, we were the worst. We were the worst. We went 5-10, 5-10-1. So pretty much, yeah, we didn't. Not the greatest. The Rams went 11-4-1. Cardinals 7-9. And there's 49ers 6-9-1. So if we have a look at we look at that at us, not the schedule, but that's okay. We can have a look at the schedule. So we're gonna have a look at. Actually, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. Team schedule. Look at the team schedule. So we played well in preseason, but then we did not play well in the regular season. With those first 2 wins, and then go on for what's that? A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 game losing streak. Then we win one against the Panthers, tie against the 49ers, lose against the Vikings, and win against the 49ers. So we drew with them, and then we beat them in a close match again. Beat the Chiefs, and then lost to the Cardinals again, very close. Close. So if we look at the playoffs, let's have a look at the playoffs. So we've got the Jags versus the Patriots. Bit of a rematch of last year's divisional AFC Championship round. Falcons and Saints. Raiders and Ravens. The Ravens made it interesting. Panthers and the Lions. And then in divisional, it's not decided yet, but it will be probably against the Rams from our seed. Anyway, let's have a look at the statistics from the season. So, Russell Wilson does passes for nearly 4,000 yards, 22 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Not too bad. Looking at the run game, Rashid Penny, 650 yards, 7 touchdowns. McKissick, 224 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 fumbles. Not that great. Chris Carson, 1 touchdown. And Russell Wilson also 1 touchdown. Looking at the receiving yards, nobody got over 1,000, which is terrible. No wonder we couldn't win any games. So, Brendan Marshall with 3 touchdowns, Tyler Higbee with 3, Tyler Lockett with 5, Doug Baldwin with 5, Jordan McKissick got 2 receiving touchdowns, Jaron Brown got 2 receiving, Dickerson got 2, and Trey Madden got 1, with everybody ranging between 712 to 0 yards catching. On the offense, let's see how many sacks we allowed. 12 by Sweezy, 7. So pretty much the main guy, pretty much nearly everybody let in a sack. So that's terrible. Defense, let's have a look at the defense. So tackles for loss. 9 to Jones, 8 to Reed, and as you can see, a couple of 7s. Looking at sacks, QB sacks, we have 7 to Jones, 6.5 to Reed, KJ Wright. So we haven't got really anybody standing out. Interceptions, 5 by Shaquille, that's great. 4 by B-Wags, 2 by Morris Alexander. Did we have any forced fumbles? We did. We had a lot. We had 9 by B-Wags, 6 by Earl Thomas. And yeah, any touchdowns? Any safeties, actually? No safeties, no touchdowns. Okay. And looking at kick returns, we had no touchdowns. Punt returns, we had no touchdowns. So that's okay. Team stats, 19th overall. Let's see where we actually finished. So the Saints finished first with an 11-5 record. Then the Eagles were 12-4. Redskins 9-7. Chargers 11-5. And there's the Rams 11-4. So there we go. So we were better than the Giants, but worse than the Patriots. In defense, we haven't got that bad of a defense. We're above the Vikings, below. And yeah, okay. We go back now. Let's have a look at the yearly awards. So yearly awards. So for MVP went to Carson Wentz, which is well deserved. He should have got it last year. Deshaun Watson, Matt Ryan, Tyrod Taylor. Nice. Browns went 7-9. They won some games. That's good. Coach of the year, of course, went to Doug Peterson. And Anthony Lynn got the one for the Chargers in the AFC. Alright, looking at the NFC, Offensive Player of the Year, we've got nobody, with Mitchell Trubisky making the list for the first time, and Matt Stafford also. If we look at Defensive Player of the Year, Lavonte David, we had Bobby Wagner coming in number 3, becoming a 99 overall. And nobody. Alrighty everyone, so the draft has concluded. I did the draft offline, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through our draft recap, the players' skills, and yeah, so viewing contracts now. So our first round pick is a left guard with 81 overall, a wide receiver with 78, right end with 73, and a kicker and a fullback at 69, 68, just to fill up draft picks. But we're just going to move to the next week to get everybody into our roster, onto our depth chart, and we're just going to have a look. So, as you can see on our depth chart, I'm just going to reorder it. We've got Ender as our left guard, who is a B. But what we're going to do is we're going to resort that because we want GF Eddie to be off the offensive line. And so the way we're going to do that is move Epoch back to left guard, and the center, and Justin Britt moves across to right tackle. But yes, and then we'll move Penny back up to our main running back, and our fullback that we just drafted will drop down the depth chart because he has such a terrible rating, and he doesn't have the quick development that we need. And yes, so looking at all of our players, they're not really developed much. Only Russell Wilson's really developed up to a 92. Deasley is better as a 74 overall than he was at tight end at 71. As you can see, Higbee, who we traded for at the start of the episode, is now up to a 76 overall. And a couple of our players are digressing. Well, we got C.D. Brown's digressed. And yeah. So if you guys have any ideas for any players that we could have in the future, please be sure to let me know. Not, of course, the players we've already got in our roster that have player names and player profile pictures, but the ones who were generated on our roster. But yeah, we're going to move Burnett up to the second string tight end. Looking at our defense, we have got different. Shaquem's an absolute stud, being at 73 overall, and Shaquille being now an 81 overall. Earl Thomas and stuff is still the same. Bobby Wagner's a 98. He had that 99 because of plus confidence. He's a 99 if he's a left outside linebacker. That's the guy who we picked up in the off season. Same with Thompson. And D tackles, we will probably need to look for another D tackle starting next episode. But our right ends will probably keep. As you can see, we've got Grant Fitch, who's 73 overall, and then we've got Rashid Green, who didn't really develop much actually in our first year. I think the sim actually put him as second string, so we'll have to fix it up. See if we can possibly get a draft pick for him or do some movement around, but we'll see how we go. We might even see how he goes as a D tackle. But leave your ideas below. I have put him on the trade block for the moment, but we'll see how we go. Looking at special teams, Dixon and Myers now with our crappy kicker, and then Chancellor still at the bottom on our roster. He won't be used, guys. He is quote-unquote retired, but just so that no other team picks him up or uses him, we'll just have him as a kicker until he retires. But yeah, and then everybody's still the same on specialists, but that will pretty much wrap up this episode. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and leave a comment, as I said before, about the players. Even if you have any ideas for who we should rebuild, I know we're going to get through every team. We're going to go in conferences, so we'll start with, of course, the one we're in now with Seattle, and so we'll do the Cardinals, the 49ers, and the Rams, and then we'll move over to the AFC and do either Northwest or South, and then move back over to NFC. But for the time being, we'll just stick with the Seahawks, and yeah, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, and other than that, I will catch you guys in the next episode. I think I've forgotten something, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. Catch you later, have a good one, and goodbye.